what you're saying is Rent a Girlfriend is the modern No Exit, and that we're gonna go through all this, and the lesson's gonna be hell as other people, and it's gonna be
Rent a Girlfriend in the Sartrean sense. But when you look at the hierarchy of like desire, like Shizuru, she does like him, right? But like in that hierarchy of desires, she likes having $250,000 at the beck and call a lot more than any security she thinks she can get from him. So like that desire of that hierarchy of desire makes sense.
I forgot the story because I blacked it out after like 3 arcs beyond where the story actually should have started wrapping up. She was trying to get money for like her acting career, right? Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
But then doesn't she have an acting career now? Like didn't that go well?
I think
apparently it doesn't seem to have gone well.
Oh no!
Because from what I remember, like she wasn't thinking fondly of her acting career when she was doing, you know, the 500th mental exploration,
mental gymnastics.
Yep.
What can I do that will keep this plot moving forward?
She's aware of the
she's colluding with the author. The author is paying her too. He's sending money from reality into the manga. He's like, help me out. We need to keep this rolling.
100% a psychological drama. Where it revealed at the end that Chizuru's always been like in cahoots with the author.
Oh my god,
she broke the
that's
fourth
like Oshimi level fucking breakdown of the narrative. You know, we're going like
she's keeping the world alive right now by cucking this guy.
Yeah, it's like the story rockets from like a 4.5 to like an 11 as he reveals the greatest plot twist in rom-com history of like these levels and layers of multiversal interaction that have created the absolutely most scuffed rom-com of all time. It's the only explanation. There's no other way.
Suddenly you got a chapter that she walks out of the panel. Walks out of the panel and directly addresses the reader.
Yeah, it's like a Truman Show moment.
Going to watch
you know,
Kasuya get cocked or something.
Yeah,
and then it's like the ultimate sort of like, oh, I'm so like distraught that I can't escape this page. I am aware that I am speaking to you on this page, but I want to reach through it, but I cannot do that because I am a drawing.
Boom! It's like, oh, you go full Truman Show, and everyone gets proven wrong, including me, because the shit is so ass.
Fans will have the greatest shit talking rights, the bragging rights of all time.
Does it have fans anymore?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Oh, no, it does. They do.
Which is incredible, personally.
All right. I mean, to each their own. To each their own. Speaking of each own, I don't know. That doesn't make it a good segue, man. We are back with another chapter discussion here. We caught up last time in a special longer episode with friend of the show Winter. We are back on schedule, talking about the latest chapters every week, giving you a week to decompress, process, because damn, these...
I think like this manga,
these chapters are going crazy.
Like, cause when you read it, at least for me, when I read the chapters like one at a time each week, it's like it like goes in, but it doesn't register. But like for this, I'm like, okay, like what the fuck is going on? And I just read this arc again from the beginning, and I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck? It's like I think I get it. I think I get it more now. What the fuck?
It's certainly. Here's what I would say about it. It's like got a positive and negative. Certainly, I recognize like this kind of writing is like the author is writing for you to read it twice, right? Basically, it's like the first time you read it, you're gonna be like, and then it's meant to be like, okay, then you read it through, and then you understand everything that's going on at the end when everything is revealed, and you know, like, the trajectory of these strange, like, larger story arcs is clear. Then you read it a second time, you're like, oh, you know. But what I would say is, dude, if you want people to read it twice, they have to read it once first. You know, you can't just be like, no, read it twice, it'll be good. It's like, man, you gotta get them through the first time. You know what I mean? But I don't know. He doesn't have anything to prove anymore, so he's kind of just balling out of control.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care. He's just like, I'm balling out. I already did it. Like, I already made.
I think he's aware.
He's just shooting 3-pointers for the fun of it.
I mean, I think he just wants to do something weird. He just sort of doesn't care. He's like, the people who are along for the ride will stick around, and the people who like the people who dig it will stick with it, and the people who don't won't. And I'm just not that interested in doing the whole like popular appeal thing anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Which has made it a very bizarre experience, including this week. But before we get into that, let's all go around and introduce ourselves in the traditional public safety fashion. Name, age, and devil contract. I am, of course, your host, Secret Doves, age 35 now, for almost a full month into the age of 35, halfway through my 30s, approaching my 40s.
Ooh,
rack them
up. I don't
up.
know if you're on anymore. I don't know if you're on anymore.
You don't want to go band for band with a guy like me. You know what I mean? I got 40 stacks ready to go. And my contract is with the War Devil. What the heck is going on?
Right now.
Xavier, take it away.
All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Xavier Ortiz. I'm 32 years old, and my contract is with the Yap Devils. Still here, still strong, still friends.
My name is Chihiro. I am 27 years old, and my contract now is with the Joe Biden Devil.
What? Now?
Wait, what? What do you mean now?
Like, McDonald's was getting boycotted, so I could not sustain that fucking devil, so I switched it to Joe Biden.
Late to the party again.
Wait, that's easier to... Joe Biden is easier to sustain than McDonald's?
Right now,
I think he's about to die, man. Like, you better start thinking about your next one. I don't know how long that's gonna last.
I am scraping the bottom of the barrel with double contracts.
It's true.
I think supporting...
I can't say that Joe Biden is too scary. He's kind of sad, so yeah.
I was angling towards like, the Reagan Devil, but like they just don't like me that much.
Yeah, that one's tough. If you're not a white man, it's gonna be tough to get a contract coming from out of there. All right, well, thank you both for coming on the podcast. Just to kick things off, give me your overall thoughts on the chapter.
You can go first.
Overall,
I think I came into this chapter after having not read like Chain. I haven't followed it for a bit.
Sure.
So I just like. I think the first picture I saw of the chapter was Fumiko, and I was like, "What the actual fuck is going on?" I'm like, I haven't looked in like a month.
True.
There's no way shit deteriorated that much. And so I think
it's been a long month in terms of Chainsaw Man. A lot has happened.
Like, it's like, what the fuck? It's been a month. How the fuck did so much happen?
I've had a few conversations with people who are like, "Oh yeah, I kind of like pause reading Chainsaw Man. You know, I'm just gonna wait until it's like all coming together." And I'm like, right. I'm like, right. Okay, I just won't say anything about like any of the chapters for the past like 3 months, you're gonna be like, what the hell is going
I
on?
think the last 2 chapters have served, at least for me, as like Fujimoto looking me directly in the eye and being like, "You, Chihiro, you have a rose-tinted view of both Denji and this story. Fuck you. We're gonna need to change that immediately. Here is 2 fucking chapters, you
I
piece of
mean,
shit."
maybe. I think I don't know. I was talking about this last time. I think if you look back at the past and you're like, oh man, things used to be better, I think that's a pretty accurate assessment because it's one of those where, it's a downward spiral type story. We're on that Ava trajectory,
Yeah.
I understand
Shit
that,
just keeps getting worse and everything
like
keeps going to shit.
notice,
And we're just doing our best.
yeah, because like even right now, just from the rereading I did recently, it's like a lot of the Denjiisms that are being touched now are like, oh, he's done this here, oh, he's done this here, oh, he's done this here. So it's like I'm seeing things that I sort of was blind to before because I had some rose-tinted view of Denji, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's on me. That's on me. I apologize.
Yeah, a lot of people maybe I've said this with regard to Asa before, but you know, I don't it doesn't seem like he's he doesn't write characters to identify with. It's like if you end up identifying with this character, that's great, Also, probably your life's
That's
probably not
probably
in
not
a good situation. Like, it's
Spot
probably
right
a
now.
bad sign for you if you're identifying with Fujimoto characters. But if it happens, it happens. But that's sort of not like the point, Like,
Yeah, his style tends to be characters to tell a story through,
right?
or to make a point about society as a whole.
Yes.
Through that character, and Denji is 100%
Yeah.
a device
Lots.
to tell a story about culture in Tokyo, how people treat outcasts,
Being honestly,
go through a lot of stuff.
being a broke young man on the streets of Japan, life's what it's like. I don't know. It's true. It's true. So, Xavier, what was your overall reaction to this chapter? Coming through it.
All right, so overall reaction at first, my knee-jerk reaction was this chapter's hilarious. That was my knee-jerk.
I gotta say, it is kind of funny. It is pretty wild.
This chapter was kind of funny.
It's funny in like a what the fuck, dude? Got away.
We started off with, the chapter starts where the last one ends. Everybody knows what happened at the end of the last one.
Yeah. No breaks, man. We got 3 more.
And then no breaks.
3 more battles for the road. Come on, man. Wow.
and then you have Denji like staring slack-jawed like into the end of the universe.
He's so
and
good.
then Miri
He's so good.
Miri, she's there like, oh great, you finally got it. You didn't get anything, Miri.
That's so funny.
Do you not understand?
I will
That's
never
so
understand.
fucking funny.
Understanding.
So divorced
He doesn't-
from like understanding.
He's so delusional.
so
It's so funny.
stupid. It's so fucking funny.
Miri
I can't wait for more Miri.
Miri just doesn't
So great.
really look too deep into what's going on in front of him. He just says, if it's good enough for what's on my mind that I want to happen, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. Like Miri suddenly cutting like, oh, so you get it now. That was funny. And then Denji admits himself that he did not listen to anything that she said after that.
What
So that's another thing.
What? I don't know, man. He's. Oh my god! The way he's writing this story, man, it's pissing me off, dude.
No,
Keeps
I
pissing
can-
me off,
as like
dude.
someone who's getting into amateur writing, I can see the plot threads and I'm like, oh, this is. I don't like it,
I can see
but
it.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see where it's
Pissing me
going.
off.
I'm worried, but
I'm
but
not.
I can see where it's going.
I can't. I don't know what the
it's
fuck is going on,
like,
dude.
like where the. And then my other question was, what the hell was Fumiko doing all this time? That she was just underneath the bed.
Look.
I think
Did she just station there?
so.
And
Like all
just
the
wait for
Fumikos are
Denji
like
to
ants,
show up?
right? They share information with each other. So like one of them is like you, Fumiko, um, this Fumiko, you're gonna stay under the bed. Denji's probably gonna come up here, and it's like this Fumiko, you're gonna distract War Devil so she kills you again. I'm so sorry.
If she managed to find out where she needed to be out of just the information that she got from another Fumiko, like that's the world's most accurate information center I have ever
I
seen in
mean,
my life.
like the what's
Hey,
more
she's
accurate than sharing experience, right?
She's a public safety agent. They still got something going on.
Public safety does
They're
not
not
exist right now, dog.
Well,
We're in
okay,
a
no,
bunker.
the top, the leadership has been dissolved, but the the facilities and the people and the devils and everything are still there, right? So
Yeah, that's another question
whatever's
that
going on.
arises right now. Like
What the hell is public safety doing?
That's what
what
I'm
the hell
saying.
is Positive doing? Like
What the hell's going
I
on?
guess I would ask who Fumiko is representing, but I think it's obvious, and
It's
we
her.
can get into that a little bit later. Yeah, she's representing
Yeah,
herself.
like Fumiko has always been in
Right.
it for Fumiko.
We're
And it makes
beyond
sense, considering everything.
as we approach the apocalypse, the institutions
It's gonna be
are
every man for
dissolving, and
himself.
it's just people being people, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evangelion, yeah. Dissolve the world into the human psyche. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
The LCL. Let's all
right.
become LCL. Let's all become Fumiko. Fumiko's the LCL.
I don't know if I want more.
Oh man,
Dog.
Fumiko, Ayanami Ray fans are gonna jump you for that one, dude. Absolutely
man.
fucked up. No way.
You already said it, so you're already on the red right now on all social media.
Kind of.
Oh man,
Okay.
great chapter though. I like it.
Yes. My initial reaction was just like, what the hell is wrong with this guy's mind, dude? This guy's got fucking issues in his brain. Who the fuck who writes like this? Nobody fucking writes like this.
Nah, I've never seen a story like this
And
being written like
Probably that's for
I
the best.
genuinely,
I don't
I
think
genuinely think,
Yeah.
like, if we're looking for comparisons, I think the closest I'm like seeing is like Devilman.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but even Devilman, even Devilman, Evangelion, these kind of stories, very rare class of this kind of everything just goes to shit kind of hero stories. Even those sort of kept the monster of the week, kept the trope structure that they were working off of for a lot longer than
I think
Fujimoto
that-
has in part two.
I think that the monster of the week works a lot for storytelling like this because it familiarizes you with,
Right.
you know,
It gives you a familiar framework to process all the crazy shit that's going on. We have not had that in part two. We've been off the rails for 2 years at this point. Where we're just I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on.
we have maybe
I mean,
two, we had
There's-
two monsters and then it's arcs. Then we just went straight into arcs.
it's been I feel like it was a little bit like Monster of the Week, but obviously more structured like arcs.
at the beginning,
Because
at the
you
very
know
beginning.
because we went from devil to devil, and the arcs were centered around that monster, that devil. You had the the Eternity Devil.
Right. I mean, he literally
and
ran
then-
it back with the start of part 1, right?
Yeah, and then falling, and then aging, and then Yoru, and then falling again.
Yeah, after the first falling devil appearance, it really breaks down. Like we're like now we're just
threw everything out the fucking window. We're in the cult.
Yeah. Now we're doing some other stuff. Like
Monster of the week this time, Quan Chi.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of, I guess. I don't know. Like bread.
It's so weird.
No, it's just like
that's something.
He's just been completely out of like normal, like familiar storytelling structures for a long time, and I respect that in some way. It is very hard to follow. It is extremely confusing because you're so like you just can't recognize the trajectory of the story, like you're just like I don't know what the point of this, like what does this lead to, and then you just sort of keep having that feeling because it never gets back in, like it never comes back around. I guess the aging arc, when they go into the aging universe, is kind of like
that's the beach episode.
Yeah, that's like the most clarity of like plot direction we had, maybe until this point. Like starting right in these last 2 chapters, we're sort of back on that Chainsaw Man, like that OG Chainsaw Man type arc of like Denji, here's what's gonna happen. This is what's going on.
Except we don't know what Denji was gonna happen because Denji was too busy looking at the universe.
But it's sort of like, okay, War Devil's gonna be there, the end of the world, right? We have a clearly defined trajectory for where we're going from here to whatever happens next. Of course, knowing Tasuki Fujimoto, it's not gonna go that way, right?
Yeah, I'm
like every time he says, "This is where the story you're going," you're like, "Yeah, okay,
Come
sure,
on, don't
sure,
come on, you
sure, dude." Yeah, you literally,
I don't believe him anymore.
Literally 0 Chainsaw Man arcs have ever worked that way, but you know what I mean. At least we got something now, because it was like 2 years of just like floating in the narrative ocean, and
I don't think it is hard to follow, but I think it's going to be hard to piece together at the end, because like if you're just following like the arcs, it's like, okay, I understand this arc, I understand the beginning to end of this arc, but like in the overall scheme of it, I don't know what the point is.
Right.
And I think it's just gonna be harder to piece together by the end.
Right.
So I think on some level, Fujimoto is like genuinely a misanthrope, and like he's
for sure. I mean, yes, he is.
I think
that's been clear for a long time about this guy. This guy is not. He does not have a high opinion of humanity on the whole.
Yeah.
At least we don't know him personally, right? Like maybe the guy thinks it's fine, but at least in the chainsaw, in the mangas,
the narrative, Fujimoto.
In the mangas, he is expressing all the disdain he feels for humanity here. Right. He's like, you fucking pieces of shit.
I am willing to accept the argument that he may not be a misanthrope, but he is 100% anti-establishment.
Yes.
I mean, but like I said, it's not like
that. Like
personal thing.
That's the very least that I'm willing to concede, because that guy is definitely very anti-establishment, because like Chainsaw Man has been from start to this chapter a negative commentary on how society works, especially in Japan, his country of origin. Obviously he takes shots at America, obviously he takes shots at the Soviet Union.
Yeah,
He's been shot at pretty much everyone.
yes, he's not a fan. Like, yes.
The reason I lean or like I am like convinced it's not because like one thing I see in a lot of stories is like the general or aesthetic disdain for authority, but you don't see in a lot of stories that same disdain leveled at the people the same way like Fujimoto does. Fujimoto hates the fucking populace and Chainsaw
I
Man.
don't know. I don't know if he hates the popular. I don't like. I feel like he's got. I feel like he's got some level of like empathy there for the people, but he's also like, yeah, but like human nature makes the world total fucking shit. You're like, okay, man. Oh god.
I had a conversation about this with somebody, like more in relation to devils, like with humanity and devil, that makes me think that he may not be completely a misanthrope, but he does have an issue with how society is
how people act,
constructed, how people act right now, and he feels that the idea of a reset should be explored, and I think that's where Chainsaw Man is heading right now.
Right.
Because I like,
not
necessarily talking on this chapter, but just something real quick, just on that topic.
Well, okay. Let me put it.
Right,
let me put it this way. If you watch Evangelion, you'll be like, wow, Anno is like mega depressed and hates the world, has very little hope for the future. And if you listen to him talking from like the similar era, like he's not doing that bad. Like he's not really that like fucked up about everything, and he's like sort of generally encouraging about like being creative and having your own opinions and stuff, and like thinking for yourself. But when you sit down to make a piece of artwork, you commit to the ideas you want to express, So it's like, Anno sat down and he was like, I'm not literally Shinji, but I'm going to channel the Shinji part of myself and engage with that and explore that. So this is like all of Fujimoto's hatred that he's ever felt.
Yeah.
Just like...
Art is not completely encompassing of
he feels. This is my fucking... This is me being mad as hell right now.
I think this with Chainsaw Man, because this is like... It's like a thread that I've seen through a bunch of his work where you see the rest of the populace involved. Like, if you look at...
the Fire
even
Punch
look back.
has a lot of that, right?
Yeah, right.
Look back too.
Even look back where it's like very innocuous. Like the populace also kind of suck because they encourage and they fuel a sort of negative affect. And I keep calling them Fujimoto because the ship is the only name that's
Fujino Kiyomoto.
No, in Fujino. And like, but in Chainsaw Man, it's a lot more open. Because like you do see people just like take up arms incredibly quickly, fall to disarray incredibly quickly, immediately fall into cults. Like it's and then the people at the top are women, right? Like the people at the top, like
and then
I can't like really disagree with him looking at the world at this point.
I get it. That's the problem. That's what I hate.
He's got it right. He's not. It's. I think it's too reductive. I don't think it's like that.
I think
bad.
It's the
I don't think there's
nothing. Productivity.
No, man. It's
but
it's not that. There are good things happening. There's people doing good stuff. It's just but there's a lot to be fucking mad about. So I can't, like, if a guy wants to pop off and be angry about a bunch of shit, and he just wants to focus on that, I can't be like, more power to you, man. Pop off.
Breaks out on my Marxism course, and Fujimoto might be referring to people as a class, not people as individuals.
That's what I'm saying.
He's looking at that kind of stuff in a certain way. A lot of things that one thing that I do like and I do find in a lot of his stories is that he always puts in an exception to the rule. In all of these stories, you have in,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
listen
yeah.
to the music, you have an exception.
Right,
In Look Back, you have the exception, which is Kiyomoto,
right.
which comes in and, cuts through all the BS that Fujino has to deal with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in Chainsaw Man, well,
And
obviously,
it's like those connections that break through the mass of humanity. It's like that's where the hope is. But right now in Denji, we got nothing. Like
ultimate exception.
he has nothing.
I'm gonna throw this album. Look Back is a more optimistic story overall, because that is about his
Yeah,
feelings of being an artist, right? So obviously it's gonna
right.
be more optimistic than Chainsaw Man. But like, I
It's not
think I'm gonna throw my
optimistic, but yeah.
idiot hat on this. I'm like, the person that cuts through that is gonna be Miri. Trust.
It's going to be Miri.
Miri?
Miri is put there as the sword because he's the one who's going to cut through the
Not
narrative.
even
Come on,
Wow.
you gotta think
Not
2
even
steps ahead.
Yoshida?
5D
Miri?
chess. 5D chess, my friend.
Miri is the right amount of stupid.
I mean, I feel
He
like it's
he
got.
can't be a threat.
I mean, I feel like if we're being for real, it's got to be Yoshida and Asa, right? It's a combination of those two characters. Like that's the thing, right? That's
That's the thing?
that's the
I think
that's
I genuinely don't know
Who
what
else?
Asa does with Yoro right now. I genuinely don't know what Asa does with Yoro right now.
Yeah, it's so cooked. I keep seeing people be like, Asa, you like what? Oh no, it sucks that Asa's stuck in there, and I'm like, she's always been stuck in there though. Like, did you like? That's the dynamic. She's fucking stuck in there. Now it's just bad instead of fun. It keeps getting worse. Everything just keeps getting worse in this fucking story. Okay, speaking of keeping and getting worse, elephant in the room on this chapter. Fumiko lore drop. Y'all know
Yep.
I have been, this is like, I wouldn't say I was like super excited for it or anything, but I have always been on the like, there's something going with this character. There's something to this character, and like,
Yeah, I've been present in many podcast derailments that went off the rails just theorizing about what the hell is going on with Fumiko.
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
And that's been
it's been lingering, it's been lurking since she showed up, since the very first chapter where she appeared. It has been this big question mark of like, what's her deal? What's really going on here? And it has lasted all the way until here. So now we know what the fuck was going on with this strange man's mind as he was writing this character throughout the story. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about the STD devil, the hundreds of Fumikos spread across the planet, she was 14 years old, all this and that. What do we think? What are we looking at here?
I think my first
we're looking.
was to like overanalyze it. Because I'm like, I went back and I was like, okay, let me look at every single instance of Fumiko showing up in the story and see how this recontextualizes all those appearances. And like, there is obviously some like intellectual, like, fun. It's fun intellectually to go back and do that. But like, I also wanted to just like ground her in the story as well. Because like, while there is just so many representations and like she's very obviously like the hypersexual foil. Like she's the foil to Denji's hypersexuality, right? Like they both have like hypersexuality caused from trauma, and like that's something that like she could have realized just from seeing him initially, and
Both
like all this extra.
immortal as well.
Yeah,
Can't
right. And it's
die.
like and like wanting him to become Fumiko, like in like the
Mm-hmm.
idea of it, but then her never actually going through with it because if she did ever actually seriously offer it, Denji would take it in a heartbeat, and she knows this. Um, and there's like
Like,
I
that
don't know.
relationship
I
with
don't
them,
know about
right?
that, but maybe, maybe.
And like, while I was tempted to do that,
wait,
I'm like,
about one.
okay, hmm?
But Denji would be like, oh yeah, let me transform
Turn?
into Fumiko.
No, not like no. Denji would. I don't think Denji would
Oh,
transform,
no, no, no.
but like having sex with her. That when she offered, like,
Well,
if
she
she
did offer
seriously,
though.
serious, she, but they
But
never went through with it.
yeah, he didn't. He didn't go for it. He didn't. He didn't press on it. He didn't pursue it. She said, "I'm down to have sex with you," and he went, "Huh?" And then he was like, then he was off to trot,
And then he was
hopped
led
over
into a
to the
karaoke
chainsaw.
room.
Yeah, and then when there was a real woman there, being like, "I will have sex with you if you want." Miri showed up and offered him the idea of having sex with women, and he dipped. He did not. He ditched the real woman, and he chased the ideal. It's kind of layers to
But
this
that
shit.
that's
Layers to this
that's
shit.
also the that's also very interesting, like that you say that because it just shows like I know we're talking about Fumiko, but that does talk
Well,
about
Denji's
how
sexuality is relevant to the chapter.
reactionary a lot of the
Yeah.
yeah yeah of course, but this is how reactionary he is at the moment because
Yes.
like after the conversation around sex ended, his mind immediately went elsewhere or for whatever was in front of him, and then he didn't even press her about it. He didn't even ask her if he was still gonna go through with it. He just
That's right.
moved on from it pretty quick.
That's
You
right.
know, like it doesn't stay with him so long that long. Like if he's taken
Yeah, he's all
somewhere
fucked
else, he's
up.
going to forget about that. Yeah,
But
but
He's
that's just
this
Denji is
character.
very reactionary with this sort of stuff, and
that's
it's
that's just Denji, like right from the very beginning, right? And but like
yeah.
after just sitting down with the whole thing, I was like it just makes it hard to like
Mm.
have a proper like not like a proper but like a more coherent or like a well put together sort of perspective on the story overall, right? So because I'm like this is just gonna make this Chainsaw Man tapestry, like this Chainsaw Man fucking no, not crossword, jigsaw puzzle, harder to put together by the end of the story when we're gonna have to put it together. Because like on some level, I don't I don't like themes by themselves. Cause like I blame my first year fucking college English teacher. Cause like if you're if 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 I see like analysis that's like, oh, this thing has themes of this and this and this, I'm like in my head, my first instinct is like, okay, so like what's like an overall like what's the actual meaning of all this, right? And so when I look at
Right.
Fumiko as like a foil and all this, I'm like, I understand, but it seems lacking still, and it feels like, okay, just wait till like the story goes on.
Right.
What what is so I have had kind of the opposite reaction going through it, right? Because this reveal um fits a lot of things together, like the question of why did she have the status that she had in public safety, right? Well, now we see that this is obviously a very valuable what valuable player to have access to in all the dealings
Yeah,
here,
she's a
right?
wonderful
Yes, she's
infiltrator.
essentially the entire intelligence division of public safety.
Right, which they needed
Pretty much.
after losing
Yeah.
Makima, right? So she's like their much
Hmm.
less effective stand-in for the intelligence apparatus that they had with Makima. Also, she's like you know, inherently expendable labor, right? And
Hmm.
and she is a method of expanding influence. You know, you can get more Fumikos if you need them. So there's that aspect of it, and also it like draws together the right. It takes the theme that she had running through of like sexuality and like transactional relationships and all that kind of stuff, and like nails it down into one concept, into like this is the concept of her character that covers all that stuff, and it, you know, and the way she was written fits with that the entire time. So I'm not, I'm on the other end here. I see the puzzle pieces coming into place for like the broader discussion that's being had here. Similar with like, you know, Yoru's whole thing coming together with the military industrial complex. It's like,
Oh, the Yoru one for me was like, oh, that is like that is because I think Yoru is a lot easier simply because she's the antagonist.
yeah, but I mean, like, this is still like, this was, I was very much like, if he has had this level of like, um, what would you call that? Planning? Not necessarily planning, but like, if the ambient ideas he's been working with, that he's just been sort of like holding in reserve until
Right.
until he puts them into place. If they're all on this level of like, if they're all this well constructed, like they all fit together this well with what's happened in the story thus far, this is gonna be this could be really good stuff. You know,
I think
this could be a come from
I
behind
think yeah.
victory here if he's got
I
like
think
all this stuff lined
Fumiko
up.
really is a part. Yeah, I think Fumiko really is a part of the larger canvas in the sense that that I think the larger canvas is touching on this intersectionality, I guess you could call it, between sexuality, utilitarianism within society, and how people view you as to how useful you are, and a lot of that use being leveled around sexuality, like,
And like in that sense, that's
and
where I'm
how a
like
lot of people
drawing.
use that as leverage, because you have, obviously Yoro with Denji, she's using it as leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Fumiko does use it as leverage to prove her usefulness to
Mm-hmm.
public safety, and also to, in this case, secure her own safety.
Yep. Survival.
And and I think the only one that had that in this story that has used that theme, seemingly not being, how can I say it, not being intentional with it. I think it's just Death.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Death gave Denji that show, and I don't think it was in any point intentional, but it did secure, for the time being, his loyalty to her, even if she didn't do it intentionally. But but that seems to be part of the larger canvas, and I think that's going to be a very strong point that's going to get studied, I guess you could call it, or developed in this arc per
Because
se.
if like what I'm generally talking about is like when you close the Chainsaw Man
Yeah.
book and you ask what's it about, and it's like okay, if I had to write an essay on Chainsaw Man and I'm doing a chat on like a
Hmm.
paragraph on Fumiko, it's like okay, like what do all these themes mean and all that. I'm like okay, maybe like it feels for me at least, and that might be partly because they dropped this reveal like the chapter right after we just got like 11 shots of like a girl's underwear. Like, yeah, that's an incredibly fucking voyeuristic thing. And then to then have
Right.
Fumiko. come on. And then not just even at the end of that, after we know everything about Fumiko, she then shows the picture, and it's not just like, oh, it's implied. Like Fujimoto shows you like the Fumiko naked. Like you're forced in a sense to be a fucking warrior in this like moment, and it's not just with Fumiko. It's with like Lil D as well, right? And so it's like a part of me is like it feels
Right.
like thematically there's a clash with the
That's right. It's
the
very
narrative
dissonant.
of Fumiko, and then like, hey, here is a naked chick for like 11 panels, and then a naked chick in the last panel, and
I do think it does serve the purpose to put us in Denji's situation, because like whenever Denji is faced with that sort of stuff, we are given these panels
no, but like
through Denji's point of view.
I don't think it's necessary to show 11 panels of Death's panty shots
Yeah, I
because
can respect that.
there
100% I
is
can respect that.
like I don't want to like come out and like
We
say, oh
didn't need
man,
it.
the artist is like
We did
wrong in
not need
this
it,
sense,
yeah.
or like it shouldn't have happened in this sense, but I'm saying that if you look at like something like Funny Games, which is technically horror, but all the horror basically happens like the camera isn't in on it. So the camera that you, the viewer, look through is not the same as what's happening on the show. So while people are getting murdered, what you get to see is like blood and their legs, right? So rather than like you
Mm-hmm.
voyeuristically indulging in the murder, you're just left with the afterthought and your imagination, which is something Chainsaw Man
Right.
has never done.
No.
So when you explore,
True.
and a part of me is like, I don't feel like I know it's intentional. Having the Fumiko thing happen right after 11 shots of death, we learn about Fumiko, and then we see Fumiko naked. I feel like that has to be intentional. Like that's not
Oh,
just
it
like
is.
Oh yeah, but
100% it is.
what would I say? Sometimes you turn up the feedback on the amp and you just fucking blow out the audience's ears. You know what I mean? And that's part of the fucking song.
and
That's
that's
like
part
some
of
shit
why
that you
I was
do.
like, it felt like Fujimoto was looking at me directly and saying, "Fuck you, fuck
Yes,
you,
yes. That's
you're a part of
Yeah,
this,
I
you're a
think it's
perpetrator."
Fujimoto. I think it's Fujimoto doing a kick flip over the reader, because he put the 11 shots, and then when you're still reeling from that, he's like, "Hey, look at this very traumatic story that's centered around sex. Oh, naked lady." And then
It's not
and
just
then
naked lady; it's the naked lady that was exploited. You
that's
are
right.
now like
it's
That's right.
an
exactly.
accessory in her
And now
exploitation. I don't like that feeling.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
sometimes,
Now we're
sometimes,
getting into the meat and potatoes
some that's
of
you
Fujimoto.
sometimes you want it to feel bad. You know what I mean? You're
Right.
sometimes you gotta, like I said, turn the dissonance up, make it sound worse. Play the bad chords and the evil notes that fuck you
And
up in your
that's why
chest.
I was like, I feel like that's why this chapter felt really misanthropic to me, because it literally did just feel like Fujimoto says it's not just the people in the world of Chainsaw Man that is saying fuck you to. He's saying fuck you to the reader too.
Yeah, I mean, he's done that a few times though. At this point, in
Yeah.
Oh
Baki,
yeah.
very he has very pointed commentary on the relationship between audiences and entertainment, and through Fumiko specifically as well.
Didn't didn't he say that in part one he killed somebody off because the editors said they the readers like this character a lot?
It said that
Or am I
Lynn
crazy?
said that um, killing Angel would be sadder than killing Kobeni, and so he killed Angel instead of Kobeni.
Like,
Because it would be sadder.
like that is a like okay. That sounds that's a bit more outside of the narrative than like I think just him implicating you narratively before, in the middle, and after an
Uh,
incident.
I don't know if it's like implicating, but it's like creating this again, this strong dissonance, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
you're you're forced you're forced into this confrontation between the dissonance of like sexual attraction and the realities of sexual exploitation in society, which is a very like
Mm-hmm.
it's a very existent dissonance. Like it's a dissonance that is real. You know, you experience that in the real world if you are out there, if you are out and about, out on the town, interacting with people, trying to get down. You know, we all negotiate with that thing. This thing of like, you know, people are trying to get together, and then like women are in a lot of danger and are in these circumstances of survival in many cases, and
Mm-hmm.
that creates this exact tension of like I'm a human being, I'm trying to get it, but then there's all this you know broader
Context. So
there's like all of these issues, all of this exploitation, all of this abuse that happens around it, and you get that same kind of whiplash where you're like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
here I go, yes, and then you're like, wait,
Uh,
it's like a tension that exists.
this is actually kind of problematic. Wait,
And
Yes,
but
it's
exactly. And it's like I'm not you know, I think there's a brand of media criticism these days that is
mm,
very what you point to a dissonant aspect of a work and you're like, look at these two things, they don't resonate, they're dissonant, that's bad, like they're fucking up, right? And it's like, well,
yeah,
maybe like
washed.
sometimes the dissonance is like, oops, like I was trying to line it up and it didn't come together. But
It didn't line out like I thought it would.
sometimes you put some
it
shit
feels
on
too
and
on the nose.
too on the
Mm-hmm.
nose.
So that's what this chapter felt to me. It felt a little too on the nose.
I
Yeah,
Just
mean,
a
it
bit
the
too
has
brush
dissonance
off.
was very
it
clear.
has been very what would I say? Like, you know, swinging the story
There's
around
also
like a baseball bat and smacking you in the face with shit for
yeah.
I don't know, like a couple months
This
now. Like he's just been like,
this chapter
okay,
has been
I'm just gonna like you
Like fuck, it's like
like that's why
the Yoru what's it
that's why I
called?
didn't really get where you're coming from. You're like, how will I figure out what Chainsaw Man is about? I was like, I don't. That does not seem like the problem to me at this point. To me, the
Oh,
question
I
is,
think
can
it's
he, can't like as he's bringing all these things in and like fucking slapping you in the face with like, this is what it was, this is what it is, this is what I'm talking about. As he's like fucking beating you over the head with this shit, will it cohere into like a will it will the story that has been so like kind of all over like meandering and
it's like when you do put the jigsaw puzzle together, what's it like? What's it gonna look like?
that is that's what
And
that's a great
and
segue,
that's why
yeah.
That's gonna
and
be
that's why I'm looking, because it's like thematically Fumiko makes complete sense, right? But then I'm looking at
Mhm.
like, okay, this relates to Denji. Denji relates to war in this way. Fumiko relates to like how will Fumiko's relationship with War be explored in this way? And I'm just like I'm thinking of like
Oh, okay. And yeah, that question. We have a direct answer in this chapter. We get that here.
let's get it hunted down.
How does she feel about war? She doesn't give a shit if war is going on. She's completely desensitized. She's all for infinite suffering forever because why not? That's just how life
Because that's
is,
just
you
how
know,
it is
that
already.
life is
Like,
already
the
infinite
people are already
suffering
in war,
forever.
right?
You know,
Look at Schopenhauer over here.
she is condemned to infinite suffering forever, right? Because she can never die.
Yeah.
Already, she's already immortal.
Unless her and all of her clones just stop replicating, and
Unless humanity is
that's
wiped
the
out in
only
one
way.
go, you know. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Wait, is
You're never
everybody
going
going to
to have.
become Fumiko eventually then? Maybe Fumiko
Uh,
wants to
Um,
survive.
if the world if death is erased, then sooner or later everybody's going to become Fumiko because
okay.
well, not everybody,
I
because
don't
you
think the
know
number.
you're
Yeah,
going to
I
still
don't
have
think the
two
numbers
human
work out like that
beings.
unless everybody is banging Fumiko's. It is not necessary. Let's put it that way. It is not a
No, no,
mathematical
of course,
necessary
I'm here for it, but
based on the lore.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
sooner or later, people are going to notice that there's a lot of the same woman around, and they're gonna get suspicious,
no, no,
and
no,
they're gonna be like, "Wait,
I'm mostly riffing, but I was like Fumiko's
yeah,
Fumiko's immortality is dependent on
well,
her.
I
on
I've been having the reading that like the sexuality stuff and the war stuff they're already tied together through Yoru.
yeah,
Right. Yoru is the
Mhm.
vector to connect the sexuality and the war together. And, you know, I think that lens fits I mean, you were saying that
And the thing is
Fumiko's
like
like a foil to Denji. I think the same lens fits right there, right? But like in the other way, instead of being manipulated by sexuality to bring you into war, she is dominated with violence or something and then utilized as a tool of war, which is the same thing for Asa. That's like the man woman inversion there, right? It's like the man is manipulated and the woman is objectified. She's the tool and the man is
yeah,
the target, which
yeah.
same shit
You get a
again.
lot of that. You get a lot of that with Asa and with Denji.
and
A lot
like
of commentary,
especially
like
with
what you said about
Denji
war.
jacking off
Like
the Fumiko
Yep.
after
Denji is
everything.
this
Yep.
unsuspecting soldier
Yep.
that marches on into the battlefield,
And
enticed by dreams of glory, sex, and all that stuff. And Asa is like an unwilling participant, or I guess you could call it an unwilling trophy
I won't
in a
say
lot
it's
of
a
sense.
trophy as much as it's a. I think Asa and Fumiko are sort of not the same, but are both resigned to their position in this war,
at this
where
point, yeah.
Mm,
Fumiko is trying to
yeah,
leverage.
yeah, yeah.
Asa's got some fight in her though. She's not down for the count. Don't give up on us yet. She's still in there.
Believe in the Asa.
Asa.
Believe in the Asa.
Um.
She's got one more in her.
Yeah. But you are right that you know these kind of ideas, and then he hits you with like the absurd level, like the yeah, like an absurd level of fan service. Really make you think, really make you deep
Because
it,
it, like it's
really make you
fan
deep
service
it,
is
you know?
always in the manga, but like 11 shots.
Yeah, that's right. You can't, you know, you can't intellectualize your way out of this one. You gotta face the fucking facts. you gotta face the
You gotta.
facts of the genre you're engaged with. You know what I mean? You know, hitting you with like
Mm,
the OG sexual harassment trope and just like fucking running it into the dirt and just being like, see, see, and then
Look at
having
this.
look at what
Look
the
at
Denji
it.
fuck is wrong with you? Why are you still reading this shit? Look at
having
this.
having Denji being like a mindless idiot, being like, "Oh," it's like, oh my god, like what are we? Okay, man,
Suffering.
Jesus
Suffering.
Christ, you know, like, damn, that's oh my god, they're controlling your mind, man.
All
Anyway,
right,
speaking of controlling your mind, let us transition into the last segment. What do you think is gonna happen next to this story?
Ooh, I have some things to say about that.
Hit me with it.
Um,
I'm interested.
all right, all right. If we're gonna go immediately after this chapter, I think we're still gonna stay here. I haven't seen the usual cues from Fujimoto that we're going to switch POVs. But I do think that Denji's going to have one more intrusion into that space. I'm not super sure who it's gonna be, but I don't think he's just gonna go through with it. Like what he's about to do at the end of this chapter. I think something's gonna stop him or grab his attention in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's gonna be
You
Yoru
won't.
walking
You
in.
won't even let Denji bust. Damn.
I think he
Man,
already started.
I think. Yeah.
he probably he probably
I think
started,
if
but I
he.
don't know if he's gonna finish.
I think. I think he's way too horned up. I think if he doesn't get.
I
I think if
mean,
he doesn't get the
right.
let out, he's definitely
I'll be
100%
honest.
cooked.
If the next chapter is like 5 panels of him jacking it,
There's no,
I
no,
would,
no. I don't
I would
think.
not
I
be
don't even
surprised.
think.
I would not be
I don't think we
surprised
need to go
if
down
we
that
get
road again.
Dog, we
another
already
punch of
saw that. Like,
Yeah,
dissonance.
we've already did that. We've already had our end of Evangelion moment in the manga. We don't need two of those.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we'll
We've
be
all we've all read
I
girlfriends
think we'll
online.
be off screening that one. But I do think, I mean,
Yeah, bro.
you
If he's
know,
gonna go through
everyone
with it,
was.
it's just gonna come out
I gotta
an
say,
enlightened man.
Denji's getting a lot of hate, but also like it is what it is. You know, like sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You just
Is
gotta do what you.
it has been a long day for my guy. You know, it has been a crazy, wild 24 hours.
Yeah, to be entirely understanding, like the context of it all is weird. Like I would not feel comfortable with that picture in my hand, like at all, after hearing that. But then again,
That's
that
true.
sort of context
I
doesn't
would
really
also
but then
feel
again,
like,
link
you
what
what
is
also
the
happening.
didn't
hell?
just stare at like.
Yeah, you also haven't had your psyche
He,
destroyed like 6 times in
yeah,
48
yeah.
hours. So, you know.
Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good for this guy to force himself into a bit of clarity.
I don't know if it's
I
good or
don't
bad,
know if
but
that's possible.
I don't know if it's good
I
or
don't
bad, but
know.
it's understandable. Put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
It's like
understandable. I guess you
I
could say
haven't
that.
been there at that level, but also, you know, I've been there in like in the vibe where you're just like shit, you know.
I just gotta deal with whatever's gonna come.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that I'm pretty sure that as soon as Yoru shows up, like one of the first things she's gonna say is, "Hey, then do you remember our promise? Kill her,
Yeah.
kill her for me."
Yeah. Okay,
And
what do you all think about that? Denji's the choice, I suppose, that the Fire Devil was
Have
discussing
you?
right.
Have any
is
of you guys
is here.
engaged with the Romance of the Three Kingdoms?
Romance? I
I
am not a
haven't.
Three Kingdoms understander, no.
So I haven't like engaged with the literary, but there is a game I play that is based on it. Right?
Okay, okay. Hell yeah.
The game does a wonderful job of telling you why there is exactly three kingdoms, and it needs to be three kingdoms. And I think Denji's in a sort of situation, because like there's no winning in this situation,
Yeah, of course it's
Right.
right?
The
Like
the
you
choice
kill,
is
this is
infinite
entirely screwed up.
infinite ultra hell or complete obliteration. Like there's no
right? It's like
Yeah.
we got no good options.
there's
No
like,
good
and that's the
options.
one thing I love about like the Three Kingdoms thing. It's like, because like if you're not incentivized to go in any direction, because if I attack this person, I'm gonna give this person an advantage. If I attack this person, I'm gonna give this person an advantage, and they also have the same ideas about me as well,
And they both suck.
and they both
That's-
suck. They all suck. I suck. I'm a tyrant. He sucks. He's a tyrant. He sucks. He's a tyrant. Right? And and
So I think that's a fair assessment of the three factions in play here. Everybody is just trying to manipulate Denji, and no matter which one he picks, he's totally fucking cooked.
like,
So
you lose 3 times.
Yeah, that's the big issue here. Like, what's it? I think it's been explained like through Yoshida, the all important Mr. Subtext man. It's been explained that when Denji's at an impasse, and he still, like, at least at that point in the story when he was with Yoshida, he still had the wherewithal to be like, these two options suck actually.
yeah,
We need to look for a third one. Oh, but no, that's not possible. No,
Right.
we need to look for a third one.
yeah.
But that's impossible.
That's why I think I think in terms of resolving this
Yeah.
dilemma, I think Denji's out of the picture, right? Like, look at our boy. He's cooked. He's
also, like,
done for. It's over.
he's cooked.
Fighting, because like if let's say Yoru comes in and is like, oh, go kill like Death for me, and then he tries, Death bodies him immediately.
Yeah, I don't think he can really put up a fight with anybody
Yeah.
else. Like,
Yeah, he's
that's
kind
one
of gotten
the things that
scaled.
was-
The only like
yeah.
he's
Like,
got
a
this
weaker-
useful power, but like how are you gonna
gonna use
execute
that?
on that? How are you gonna make that happen? You know?
We need exactly like we need to be like we need to
Like,
understand the fact that a weaker Yoru already beat Poshida.
Yeah,
And again, it's
Like,
it's tough.
and
You
Poshida
need
has not
Poshida,
scaled at all.
like, yeah.
So, and you need Poshida. How are you gonna bring Poshida out? Because Denji apparently cannot do the erasing thing himself. You need Poshida. Like, how are you gonna bring Poshida out? What else can you take away from him? He only has Yoru
That's right.
and Asa.
That's right. Why isn't Pochita out right now? You know what's going on?
He doesn't have anything. Like, the only thing that he's holding on to right now is Asa and Yoru. And how Yoru is right now, you're not gonna take Yoru away
they're
from
not
Denji.
doing.
I'm sorry.
Fuck all.
It's GG's.
Yoru is untouchable.
Yeah.
Yoru is untouchable. Like, Pushida's not coming back.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
whatever these church remnants are cooking, it's they better be good. It better they better have a real spicy plan at this point.
It's not looking good. It's
Yeah.
like, that's why, like,
Yeah, the thing.
But also,
The thing
like,
is that right
why are
now-
they? I don't know. I don't understand what is happening in this story because, like, so they've got this plan to defeat Yoru, but then doesn't that mean humanity gets eliminated anyway? So, like, what are they even doing? Like, what's going on?
I think the plan is that if they can deal with Yoru, they can then deal with Death immediately after. And I'm like, that is a
Alright.
very stupid idea. If
Yeah.
that is the idea,
I
don't-
honestly think that
I don't
what
know.
they're thinking is that if they can defeat Yoru in some way, that's going to weaken the fear of war. Because, like, there's no way they haven't figured out that what's gonna trigger Death's powers is probably going to be the world war that Yoru's going to start.
Right.
I don't see anything else being cooked up that could stir up a fear of dying.
Yeah, like
So huge
like
activates.
another one of these, like the church versus public safety was like a false dichotomy, right? Like it was a conflict in the society, but their interests actually ended up being aligned, and certainly could have a similar scenario here where, you know, two sides fighting for dominance, but they're basically after the same thing. It's just who's on top.
Three kingdoms.
Who's on top at the end, not the direction of the world is already set. Or will it be? That's where I think we have Asa the hero to actually save the world, while Denji the fucking gooner is lost to time.
Yeah,
this guy's fucking cook.
It's going to be on Asa.
And
I
one,
think it's going to
one
be on
funny
Asa
story is
out.
that like there is like not an undercurrent, this is an overcurrent of like misandry from Denji that I think Fujimoto is now like pointing towards Denji, because he is kind of just like a gooner right now. Like
that's right, he's gooned out his mind.
Yeah, but he's been since chapter 1, to be honest.
I mean, he's been since chapter 1, but like
yeah,
I think part 2 especially has really focused on like Denji's
breaking him
like,
down. Absolutely, just destroying him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think this is going to
tearing him apart.
I think this is going to be like a main point of what we're going to be working with in these upcoming chapters.
Certainly,
because I think that every faction right now is going to be like in an arms race to get Denji to work for them. To get Denji to follow them. Yeah.
That's not the thing. It's Denji's neurosis that's gonna be a problem. And one thing that I've had to like recuse myself of, like an idea that I've had to remove, is that like Denji's going to grow eventually. I don't think that's happening.
No. Well, it's really hard to say. We're trying our best here, but it is so impossible because like you're like, okay, you know, things keep getting bleaker and bleaker, and then you look at like the trajectory here, you're like, there's no way it can just be like
right.
There's no fixing that. It's past the event.
Right.
Horizon.
Yeah.
I do also think sort of especially the non-Japanese fandom looks at this aspect of Denji and they're like, this is a problem that he has to change. I don't see that perspective coming through in the manga. So it's like a weakness that he has. You know, it's like an Achilles heel of him, but it's not like it doesn't cause him to do bad things. Which I think is like a shoe that like the non-Japanese audience is waiting to drop. They're like, oh, he's being bad because he's doing sex stuff, and so that's gonna cause him to do a bad thing eventually. And I think it's just like, no, this is not like a moral failing of his character. This is like a personal failing that causes problems for him. This is a problem for him, not really a problem for the rest of the world. In terms of the rest of the world, the problem that you see with sexuality is like it being a tool of domination, of control. Right, exactly.
Like, it's inflicted. Denji, it's like sexual issues seem to be inflicted on others outside of Denji.
Even with
like Denji is not one to inflict it on other people. Like it's always inflicted on him. He reacts, and then he's over it for whatever time.
Yeah, and it just leads him further and further down into this cycle that destroys him. Yeah. So it's sort of like it's like really reaching through the screen to the gooners, being like, "This is destroying you. Like you are rotting." But it's not like you're harming the world. You know, like Denji could keep his gooner emotions and find a way to process them that doesn't lead him into destruction, and that would be like a solution in terms of the story's perspective. You might have a different opinion than this story, but that's what I see coming through in the narrative.
The thing is that I see that a lot of people are judging like the possible outcome of whatever relationship Asa and Denji might have, and they're saying, "Oh, this shouldn't happen because Denji doesn't deserve Asa." But one of the things that I tell a lot of people is that, you know, this side of Denji comes out when it's stimulated, when it's triggered.
Yes.
And when you see his conversations with Asa and how he relates to Asa, it never comes out. Never, because his relationship with Asa is, we're talking, we have our issues, we talk about them, we try to help each other overcome it.
Yeah.
But he
For better or
never
for worse,
imposes he never imposes any sort of sexuality on Asa. He never has. He only mentioned it once when she asked him. Does he see the scar? I don't know if he sees the scars.
We still don't know what the deal is. That
yeah, because it seems like it's for the viewer, and if that's the case, then he has engaged with her in that manner more.
Yeah, but Miri.
Nah, but he didn't.
Miri,
but he didn't do
all important character.
He didn't do that, right? That was Yoru. Yoru was.
Yeah, that was Yoru like triggering it, but he absolutely doesn't just like only play along. He also participates in the objectification.
But he is the subject there, right? Things are being done to him in that moment. It's not really.
And he's you
see what I mean?
Reacting to somebody coming onto him very aggressively.
It's like saying you know, why didn't you fight back? Kind of vibe. No offense, but.
It can tread a little bit like into that sort of situation. Oh, why didn't you do anything about it?
But he's not the perpetrator in that moment. You see what I mean? Yep.
Yeah, and Miri does said one thing that I wanted to say. Like, Miri did say to Denji that they say that there's scars that appear on her face whenever she goes into battle. So there is a visible change.
Yes.
In her face, in her physicality. And I just think Denji hasn't noticed it.
I don't necessarily think that's too relevant.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, you know, I don't think he understands the scenario.
The mechanic.
Like,
also, I don't think
he knows what's going on. But also, he's not really thinking about it either.
Yeah.
You know?
Denji's not a big thinker.
And also, like I said, it's sort of like, yeah, there are things he could do, but if you just look at the situation, he's not. The objection you have is like, he didn't do anything, which is sort of like, okay, but then he didn't do anything. He was involved in the scenario, and maybe he should do something if he understands everything that's going on, but also things are happening to him.
And it is also
through all of this.
He stole Asa and Yoru, that's a problem, and then Yoru immediately locks onto it and is like, okay.
Right. That's why she knows it's his weakness, and so she's using it against him, and so he is having his weakness exploited, and people jump on him for it because, you know, it's bad if a man likes sex. It's bad. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be the stoic cool guy.
I'm gonna be I don't say Marcus Aurelius, but that dude also loves sex, so
yeah. Well, we have
thoughtful about it.
We have done a wonderful job of predicting things as usual. We've got it locked in. We know exactly what's going on.
You have no idea what's going on, no.
Yeah, we've got it all figured out. And
you could open to Yoshida next chapter, and I'd be like, this makes sense.
We have
as you can tell, where we've got it all figured out here, and that's why we won't be surprised at all with the next chapter, which we'll be discussing here after a break week. Reze movie coming up soon. That's hype.
Yeah.
New chapters.
I finally get to win.
It's been wild. It's been a wild stretch of the story. That's all I'll say.
It's been crazy.
And I'm sure, like, we're just getting started on this volume, which will be the last volume, second to last volume. We'll see.
Second to last, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It
21 or
depends.
22 right now?
It depends. It's 23.
Okay, now we're in 23. Now we're in 23.
Has just started.
22 ended on which chapter? I forgot.
Ended on the on Lil D. The Lil D. My name is Lil D.
Yeah, 210.
Yeah.
210. Yeah.
On the nuclear weapon
reveal.
Yes, the national anthem.
Oh, the national anthem.
The national anthem.
That was such a like a hammer to the face.
Yep.
Wake
up!
Wake
up, samurai! Well, whatever happens next, which who fucking knows? Maybe we just get a full 16 pages of Denji doing his thing. Hopefully not. We will be back to discuss it here whenever that happens. Thank you both my guests for coming on. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you
and
for
we will
having
be
me.
back
Thank you.
next time.